Well, hello. This is comrade-Sirius and welcome to another episode. Something like 66. This time it should be correct. Well, harvest is done. We have moved a little bit. In our rear, we also are growing with money because we haven't built anything in like, few months. And there are definitely things that should happen. But first, some stats. If we look at our crops, they are perfectly alright. And as you can see, we are almost full. Yes, there are some trucks that are going to the distillery. They are yeah, you can see few of them actually driving there. They are taking strange roads. I have no idea why they do this. Yeah, it's probably because we're asphalting this piece. Okay, that makes sense. I've done some asphalting jobs here and there. We can almost run our first tram lines, though it would be only like 2 stops, because we have an end station down here. And we have, another one in construction at this side of the map. Though we have a problem, we are not having any depot for trams, not even, like for a single ones. Which might be a bit of an issue, because without depot you cannot basically start trams if you're not having a depot on the line. But you do not need it somewhere, somewhere fancy. And yes, in the end I would like to use the railroad depot that we have constructed here, but it's quite a long job, to be honest. So let's start with the one. Depot, tram depot, yeah, definitely for 8 vehicles. I will place it in this general area because that's something we do want. We want it to be accessible for road traffic, or do we? I have absolutely zero idea, to be honest. Well, to be fair, this is a good spot as well. Though, yeah, connecting it like this creates weird connections. So, for aesthetic reasons, I'm just doing it the opposite way. So, yep, basically this. And, yeah, that will be the first one. Afterwards, I can basically finish the triangle, but this is going first. Absolutely. Well, what I see, we can definitely assign some of these tram routes as well. And how is it looking down here? Well, there's no gravel, but they are assigned. This is a good city. It's starting to look like it will be of use. We have no buildings, like no civilian buildings, and to be fair, there is a school, but we have no kindergartens. We will not have a university that we have already established, but well, it would be fine to, move further with the Farbat city, with the third one. But currently, we have a bigger fish to fry. What do I mean? I mean this thing. It's an oil area, and yes, I just scanned the area with lots of pump jigs. I'm not going for 14%. The least amount was like 20 or like 18s. There could be a lot more places, to be honest, with at least some oil, but I'm not sure we can utilize it. Maybe this one would be nice, but I have it all connected with underground pipes and underground pumps. You can see them. It's basically a tree structure that's going all the way to the top, and these are the 2 final pumps designed to be worked. If your pipes are going out of ground, don't worry. Once you get to construct them, they get moved underground, and we are not going to build something above there anyway. What we want though is to plan how are we going to process all of this and what are we going to do here. And that takes a bit of thought. One of them is that here is a uranium deposit. If you look at uranium, which we do not have completely, but the first one is just a mine. This one is just a work for energy, so no problem. The third one actually uses chemicals. Not much, but it does. And nuclear fuel uses chemicals as well. For example, if you look then into electrical components and, you know, even some... No, production lines do not use chemicals. But that's one thing that needs chemicals. The other thing that uses chemicals is fabric factory. And we do not need to scroll there, we have it here. It's, yeah, half a ton of chemicals a day, but it's the only thing that, you know, kind of holds us from exporting clothes, which would be a massive financial buff. And then you have also, you know, for crops, we have composting plants, which we can kind of replace bioreactors afterwards, which would be nice. And more important, even synthetic fertilizer factory. Again, a little bit of chemicals, lots of water. That would be nice to have, right? So chemicals is the first thing that we are going to definitely start making here. The funny thing is, if you look at fossil fuels, we can have either a small chemical plant that consumes like, you know, 1.2 tons of oil a day. For example, one oil rig can produce 7 tons, so even if they are like 20%, some of them, it's, well, it's still more. Or almost the same. We would need one oil rig to have chemicals. Or we can go big. But big, I mean really big. We have a new building in game. It's quite a new, like 1 or 2 months in the game since this has been added. It's fucking massive. It can house up to 700 workers, which is a massive number on its own. And the good thing about it, that is produce almost 10 tons of chemicals a day. 9.4, if you compare it to these guys, they have 1.6 tons if you have 2 of them. And if we pause it and do a little bit of math, basically 10 of these small chemical plants do 8.1 tons. This guy does even more. And by even more, I mean like 11 of these are 8.9 tons. This guy basically supplements 12 of these, almost 12 of these. The consumption is equal. You can see the water is 119 meters. This one is 10 meters. So yeah, it's basically 12 times more. Same goes for crops. You can see it. Same for gravel, wood, and so on. Same for oil. The power though is, oh, it's probably also 12 tons surrounding. Same water quality. To be fair, this one uses a lot. This one produces a lot less pollution. Like one chemical plant produces 15.2 tons a day. This thing produces 65 tons. Well, not a day, a year. 65 tons. Which plays a role. Don't say it doesn't. The same and the biggest improvement is, if I remember, power consumption. Because small chemical plants can consume 25 megawatts a day. And this one consumes less than 200. So less than 8 times the counts of small chemical plants. Which means it saves energy much more. Yeah, it is max wattage circuit breaker at 330. Which means, well, basically 2 of these stations is needed right away for it. But it's kind of understandable with this beast. But it's also better that you do not need to run as sophisticated systems of, you know, forklifts or something to supply a massive amount of all of it. Now, if we take an average, you can see the terrain kind of grows up there. We do not want it to grow. We want it to be somewhere in the middle. And I'll just be... I may be a dick, but yeah, these two have like around 18 meters. So that's probably the level I am going with, because we will need... There's no way, because the building still needs to stand on a flat ground. So that's what we will need, and that's what we will try to build. So, well, let's go for it, yeah. This might be... No. This might be the place for it. We have a little problem that we cannot get mechanisms down here, because we are too far away. Yeah, as you can see, we are quite far from our original area and from our bulldozers. So we need to take that into account. But this is what we'll basically be doing. I will just use these as a midlines. Too steep of an incline, okay. Understandable. We are in a danger of closing to the river though. So I'll try to be nice and start from the opposite side. And that's it. This is the space marked for such humongous factory. And for, you know, adjacent trails and roads and so on. So let's just take the big one and, you know, do something with it. No, I do not want to build you. Nope. Shift. Go away. Well, that's it. Now we take the measurement tool and we may want or need to build some city parts down here. How far is it here? This one is about a kilometer. That should be enough. So let's plan that thing. What I do want is I would want the big one, and if you can see, it has its own rail connection. What do we want to bring with rails inside? We can obviously ferry away chemicals using trains, which would be nice because we have those storages in this area, those two big ones, that will be used for this. Don't make me wrong. But besides that, I don't think we need to truck. We do not need to truck crops in here. We can, absolutely, but it would mean blocking our only rail in the factory, which I do not like. And to be fair, this one still consumes like 9 ton crops a day. Even if we build like an 800 ton crops silo next to it, and just drop things directly inside. If you combine inside storage, which is 120 tons, it's basically a 100 days worth of crops. Yes, I can definitely go full ham on it and just, you know, build a 3.5 ton silo, which after some time I can definitely do, but I don't feel like it's needed. Maybe I'm wrong. We'll see. Now, how are we going to connect it? The rail is on the outer side, which will be now. I think this is alright. And just a marker, so we know. Yes, if I would need this, if I would want or need the silo, I can just do it like this or like this afterwards. Yes, we may end up doing it, but at this time I don't feel like it's needed, so we'll stop it. But it's just kind of nice that it is here, and just so we don't forget, it maybe would need a connection. Place a thing down here. Now, what else does it need? We need to handle liquids. We need to handle oil. The factory itself can store quite a lot of it. Like, yeah, it's like 300 tons. That's a lot of days worth of crops, of production. And what I would like to have is we have 2 outgoing pumps. Yeah, in a little bit of, you know, not ideal direction, we can say. But I would like to have these 2 somewhere on the outside. Yeah, something like this. Or we do not need them on the straight part. You just, you know, it's almost the same. It's almost the same height, so there's no point in keeping it. Not keeping it leveled. So this is what I'll do. I will plan an oil storage. This will be the first one. And as we can do it like this. And this will be a second one. I can have them. Or we can have them just, you know, one after another. It's not a bad idea, after all. And what I would like to do is to demolish these 3 pipes, and just add them somewhere slightly elsewhere. I can even make it level this way. So I can have liquids, so underground, 3 into 1. That's what I would want. At this side, and then yeah, but sorry, I wanted the underground ones. Get out. I do not want to just fiddle with overground wires. 3 into 1. Yep. This is kind of perfect. And now yeah, now the opposite one. And another opposite one would be and will be around here. What are they going to do? It's pretty simple. It's a simple plan. I will reconnect these three together because, well, they are needed. To be fair, probably not at such depth. And now, this one will be going down here. And this one will be going down here. And I will interconnect them. Which means this one goes to the left side in. And the straight one goes down here. We can still get out of these, don't worry. No, I didn't want to. I didn't want to place these. Alright. And we have still one free. If we need it. And the other one will basically be, well, you get in. And you get in as well. So they both should feed. Because we can assign priorities to them. They both should feed these two huge canisters. Well, it's not canisters. What are they called? Fuel storages. Alright. And the last one can do, well, whatever we want. I have no idea. They can even have a third one that might be connected to for something like an exporting train. Honestly, it's not too bad idea. Yeah, so we'll do it, and we name them. We will name them properly. Don't worry. This is the yeah, this is definitely an alley of oil. So yeah, let's do it, because as I said, it's not a bad idea to have it. Here we go. Yes, we absolutely do not need to connect everything at the same time. And now just a simple pump. This beauty will need a pump to get oil inside. And I feel like this is the right place for it. And we can make a change. We can do an overground station for it. Exactly. So once we're talking about what goes where, we have three options. By the way, how long that cable or that pipe can be. 500 meters. So if we would be about to build some oil export station, probably this one would be oil-free export. This one would be oil 2. And let me guess. refinery, maybe. And the third one would be oil 1. And that's chemicals. And to be fair, it doesn't need to be chemicals, it can also be plastics afterward. We'll see. I have no idea what will happen, what will emerge out of it. But we have them. By the way, once we are going outside, we can definitely, place a thing like this. Because that's a pump. Do not need this pipe, because that's a horrendous idea. Though I kinda understand why that happened and why that materialized out here. It's still definitely something I do not want. What I'm thinking about is, do I want to place a refinery right away? Because that's a huge building. Though to be fair, this one is probably larger. Chemical plant, I mean. Airplane cannot take off or land. I understand. I do not want airplanes to be like landing anywhere here. Well, that's what you get for, you know, playing with airplanes as terraforming tool. But hard to blame it on the game, right? Just connect it right away. Yes, this will be a planning episode. Did it not connect? It didn't. Now it did. Okay. I was like, why did it happen? Why didn't it disappear? It was strange. Do we have plastics, by the way? We do. And that thing consumes a lot of oil and a little bit of chemicals. To be fair, it's kind of silly how small that one is. What else it needs? Just chemicals and oil. We can definitely truck chemicals there if needed, because there's probably a little point in trying to just, you know, smuggle it inside. Well, if I demolish part of this road, I can definitely mirror this thing in a way that it would work. So it can, you know, kind of take it directly from there, but, well, to be fair, it's absolutely horrendous idea. It's not a good one at all. Because you need to have, you know, a constant influx of chemicals. So even if they should be tracked over a road, something like that, we'll do it. But we'll do it with the over road, or, you know, just a go around, something like that. We do not want silly ideas to take place here. Yeah, this one is okay. Well, let me guess. How big is the refinery? Not much. But what I'm thinking now is that we'll have a city, and trams will curve to this general area. So if I want plastics somewhere, it's probably not this upper corner at all. Because just a question, where do we want to store? Where do we want to store chemicals? Like, for sure, for real this time. How big is the inner storage? 45 tons. That's a lot. Though, to be fair, it's like, 5 days production. It's not too big. Not too big as it could be. Which, by the way, means, yeah, we can sort of use these rails. Because it definitely won't be enough. We can do the old warehouse. Why? Because it has its own rails. There are no other warehouses with rails. Wow, I would be even able to connect it on this side. That's interesting. Though to be fair, I'm definitely unable to connect any rails to it at all this time. So no, that's not what I'm doing. And, well, I feel like I can definitely use this big warehouse. This one will store what is it? Chemicals plus plastics. Nothing else. It needs to have road, so it has a road right now. Now, kind of even bigger one if needed. And once we add it, it will definitely have its own loading and unloading stations. I can even just place the old ones that were in use a long time ago as the only option. I see the small one. Definitely do not want that one. I kind of wanted to place it down here, so, well, probably. We'll tamper with this setup a lot this episode. I want it to look good. I want it to look nice. And I need free excavator, which I do not have. That's sad because I wanted it to be, continuations of, next rails. Basically rails next to these two. If I would just, do something like this. These rails can definitely stay. This one will be a terminate one, but I wanted, something like this basically. Those rails to be connected to a cargo station, but we cannot do it. We cannot do it right now. We can just, space it a bit. And yes, as long as the platform will be on this side, I will just place a placeholder like this and plan that huge warehouse. And that's basically what it needs. Now it is, yes. Chemicals plus plastics warehouse. And that's this part. Yeah. What else do we need? There's a lot of things. What we'll definitely need, and I can use trucks for it. To be fair, there's a highway, though the highway won't be of, well, it will be of a bit of use because, well, we'll have distribution offices down there. We will need two things. Well, more than two things. We'll need to get trams here. Probably start with that piece already. Well, we can't. What I also need is a refinery. Yeah, that one causes tons and tons of pollution as well. Tell me again how far we are from the city, and maybe not from this bank, but this bank. 930 meters. That should be enough. I have no idea. I have no idea if it will be enough. Or, for that matter, how many trams do we need to run on this setup? Because I feel like this chemical plant is enough. If I will place a refinery down here, it would absolutely fuck anything I would do. So either I place a refinery on the other side, which I can definitely do. There's a lot of space around here, and I can divert like one of these pipes and or one of these. Yeah, the one for the refinery can definitely be on the other side. I can just switch it with the chemicals one, and that's it. I may probably do it. And we can have two tram lines going through the city. Because yes, let's say we will have, what is the last bus stop? Yeah, that's the last stop. So this is effectively the city border. So somewhere around here we can have a refinery. There's no way I'm not having any. I'm not having any connections. What I will do right now is that I'll basically go for, let's play the game in the meantime, and I will use this side connection. They will work on it. Wow. That one went for fuel. Yeah. Both of those went to refuel themselves. Not anymore. Great. Yeah, nice. It's similar, not same, but similar height. So these guys will be temporarily connected by, well, it's just a wooden bridge for now. I do not need anything better. I don't remember this bridge. Steel brick bridge with trolleys. Okay. Angle of connection is too sharp. Okay, well, we do not need a connection. Just make it afterwards. And yes, that will be it. We let them construct it. And then we'll basically just slowly invade this area. I can even use trains from Brandywine to get workers down here, because yes, we have that train stop, the central station. For to be fair, I have no idea where would I put it right now. Well, I do though. I do by the, because what we can. Oh, you're missing chemicals in Harlingen. They just low. Okay. Because what we can is, we can put the refinery on the far side of the chemical plant. Yes, it will be a little tight with the highway. We can definitely finagle it somehow. And yeah, this is oil export, but it doesn't need to be oil export. Or we can, well, we will use a pump anyway to pump it into to pump oil into refinery. So if I would be to place a refinery somewhere, you know, let's say this general area, it can totally work. And yes, I would need to get people down here, but that will work. We just need to make a station. But we have, you know, these are cargo rails. This will be basically a cargo station. And for citizens, we have not that many stations. It's like basically 2 versions of them. So I can definitely. Oh, we have 3 now. We have the Košice main station. It's a real life station, but it's definitely not needed. Not needed for this occasion, because this is not a city. Yeah, so a train platform would be enough, with main rail running through. And that's it. Well, that's where we might end for today, I'm afraid. Because yes, what I will do is that next to these guys, I'll just have some spacing, maybe for 2 rails. Yeah. Yeah. That's what I will do. Well, this will be the main line. And we'll see where it will lead us. Because this will definitely be a big station afterwards. How big? Nobody knows. Not even me. But we're on 33 minutes, so let's do something. It snows, let's plan some living. We decided that, well, should probably start some research. Yeah. Like the nuclear enrichment. Like, oh, let's do some vaccinations so people are safe. We will need a lot of people. Oil refinery takes 500, chemicals takes 700, and plastics like 60. That's a lot. Even if we're just talking, you know, chemical plant and plastic factory, it's 760 times 3. Well, times 2 is 1500, times 3 is like 2200. And let's add a third more, because city services in general, it's like 3000 people already. So how many people do we need in this city to even like for the city to even be sustainable. And I'm looking at these large flats that came to the city. The quality of living in this one is 70. It's not great. These guys have 87%. That looks good. Some of them got 84. These guys have 87. These guys have 89, but I do not want to have everywhere the same ones. So let's start designing a proper Soviet type living. Let's start. Here is a hospital. Behind a hospital there will be a space, and we will have a flat of, yeah, definitely 3 houses are enough. Not, well, 3 entrances are enough. And now you can have 2 ways of doing things. Why am I saying it? You can either go for some types of, square and other shapes, or you can go in rows. I will combine it, so I will place another one right in the opposite. Now we're out of, what is it, the hospital. Out of the hospital area, so we can go for bigger ones and work our way through. I'm placing this a little bit upper. The reason is I want no container stands down here, or to be fair, we can even have 2 of them right next to each other. One for bio-waste, one for anything else. And let's go back to planning. Now we can make that, sort of square. I would rather have a road through here. This one is already connected, so yeah, we will do it like this. And now we need to close this one and close this down as well. And yeah, this is a main road, so we'll try to kind of block it from the view and from the central part. So we may do things like, well, layout like this one. Now we have a central place where we can put things that are in such places in real life. For example, people for, well, things for residents, like a kindergarten. Probably doesn't need the biggest, it doesn't need to be the biggest one, and it wouldn't do any harm if it would be close enough so it can use those trash cans. Yes, these houses will also need trash cans. That's why there is a space. They will be used from this side. And yes, while we are at it, these guys will probably have their trash cans somewhere here as well. I have no idea about this building though, because yeah, it will need one. And by the way, hospital will absolutely need its trash cans as well. I kinda wanted to have a path through there, which is currently not possible. So I'll need to think about it for a moment. Well, to be fair, we can have it. Yeah, we can have it here and just connect the footpath. It feels off, but well, it would work. Oh, we can have it like this. Yeah. Well, how is the building looking? Did I do something wrong? Like something that would feel really off? Well, it's this corner. It probably is not off at all because the main entrance. Yeah, the main entrance is on this side. By the way, asphalt road is definitely something I do not want there. So add it like this one. And we'll see, I may add containers if needed. But, well, we have some kindergarten, something for children. We do not need emergency. We should have already some fire crew, firemen. Yeah, this is a fire station. So, yeah, police station we have. So some sport, we have sport hall, but there's nothing saying us we cannot have, you know, some football fields or, you know, volleyball court. Yes, it is a kindergarten, but even they can go play on some outside facilities. So this is the combination that we will have. And also, yep, decorations, monuments, definitely something that's needed. And 90 meters Lenin statue is definitely something that can work. Or the Soviet concrete symbol. Is it too much for something like this to be in the middle? Probably is. Well, this emblem though fits absolutely somewhere. I'll just put it in the middle. If they bounce ball from the side, they will. That's what people do, right? You cannot prevent it. Well, that's kind of it. I completely forgot to count how many people can live inside. You can do the rough estimate. It's 126. The largest one are 270. So we need probably like 1 or 2 more of these blocks. Which is basically what I'm planning for. Yeah, this is a city hall. Which I'm alright with. House of Culture pub. Yeah, and this is the sports hall. What we will do is basically we'll have a similar one, maybe with these LG flats. And as these have two, you can see they have basically two entrances on both sides. So I'll just use them and do them. I'm not saying evenly spaced, but it feels like something to do. Yeah, a big long one at the end, and again something like a kindergarten. It absolutely can be on the end side as well. Sport facilities, tennis, playground, football. Yeah, let's go with football for this one. And some playgrounds. Even, you know, outside pools. Or inside. Well, this is a sport hall. We do not need much of it. We do not need basically any of it. But I would like to have something. But this is not a place for. No, this is not a place for some, you know, for overdoing this stuff. So yes, this is what we'll do. Citizens will have 2 tennis courts. And that's it. There will obviously be a road down here in the back, but first, and probably last for this part, yeah, let's have some trash cans. Are ones. These are second. And these ones will be third. Well, for the symmetry, let's add them to every building. These guys have them, you know, together. Or we can have them mixed, like they are in, you know, current cities. You know, one for sorted waste, the other one for unsorted waste. It could work, but I have no idea if it will. Yeah, this is the way. This is the way it will be built. Well, just for the cover of, you know, like things like fire coverage and ambulance coverage, I should probably build these roads in a way that they connect to each other. Yes. And here we go. So it's winter. This part. This part is basically done. I will transform these roads into graveled ones. No, once it's possible. We will need a lot more things. There's no heating for this city, for example. But we're moving. That's what counts. And yes, we are starting to work on this unfinished bridge, so we can move some machinery down there. That's it for the end of year 1978. We will need a lot more things down here. For example, we will need a construction office, because all of these will need repairs. And, more importantly, we will need dedicated fire crew down here. Not only because of these parts, but also because these things are highly flammable and do burn quite quickly. So, gravel roads, at least. And a permanent fire crew. It will be a lot of work, and I will need to think about how to turn trams down here. And how to do those trains, and yeah, tons and tons of work. So, in the end, I have no idea how it will turn out. But that's a topic for another part. This is a distant city, and you'll see what I come up with next. If you want to share your thoughts, please write it in comments. Leave a like, subscribe if you're not already, if you want to see it more and if you want to see this finished. And I hope to see you soon next time. Bye bye.